Tonight, we report on a Moses Lake man sentenced for child molestation and how Grant PUD explained new rules for living along the Columbia River. What's going on in sports, Bob?
The opening of the spring sports season gets underway this weekend. Stick around to find out how one particular high school plans to defend its league and district titles. Let's take a look at our Weather Center forecast.
Good to be with you, everybody. Beautiful, dry and mild conditions across the area. Now we are expecting a cold front to push into the area. I'll bring you all the details in just a few moments.
I'm Alan Troop. Stay tuned for all of this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
A Moses Lake man is serving 9 months in jail after molesting 2 girls during trips. Patrick Price, a 64-year-old man, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to 2 counts of child molestation in the first degree. Price has no previous felony convictions. The judge followed the prosecutor's recommendation, sentencing Price under a sex offender sentencing alternative. The alternative meant Price's 7-year and 5-month minimum sentence was suspended, and he will serve 9 months in jail and receive treatment. Price took the 2 victims on at least 2 trips to Moses Lake. The victims told Grant County Sheriff's investigators Price touched them inappropriately while they were in the back of his truck. He denied the crimes to police, but admitted them to his wife. The Grant PUD recently discussed the rules regarding the banks of the Columbia River. Here with the story is Cameron Probert.
A new set of rules for people living along the Columbia River brought a crowd to a workshop in Quincy on Monday. The rules involve what people can do with property along the river following the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission's approval of the Utility Shoreline Management Plan. FERC required the utility to develop a plan to make sure the public has access to land along the Wanapum and Priest Rapids reservoirs and to avoid impacts to wetlands. Jeff Grizzell, the PUD's Director of Natural Resources, explained the requirements came from a 1986 federal law. When the PUD renewed the license to the dams, it had to comply with the law. It was the first time the utility was required to change how it issued permits since the dam was originally licensed. While the utility either owns or has the rights to use the land along the reservoir, it did little to enforce encroachments onto that land. While the utility either owns or has the rights to use the land along the reservoir, it did little to discourage encroachments onto its land. Several people questioned where the PUD's property ended and private property began. Grizzell said the line is determined by the highest water level the utility can fill a reservoir to, known as the high water line. Officials told the crowd the high water line varied at different parts of the reservoir. For Quincy resident Jim Horsch, that answer wasn't good enough. He pointed out the water sits flat and there should be a uniform high water line. The utility plans to have a second workshop on March 25th at the PUD Hydro Engineering Building, located at 15655 Wanapum Village Lane in Beverly. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
Thank you, Cameron. Pedestrian improvements in Soap Lake will be the topic of a discussion Wednesday. People interested in hearing more about East Main Avenue amenities proposed as part of Soap Lake's downtown project can attend a Downtown Revitalization Steering Committee meeting Wednesday. The meeting begins at 2 p.m. at City Hall at 239 2nd Avenue Southeast. The amenities plan includes topics such as benches, garbage bins, and planters. People attending will be given a walkthrough tour of the project site. Now let's take a look at people with warrants issued by the State Department of Corrections.
Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the Department of Corrections asks that you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m.
We will be back after this.
DQ $5 lunch. I'm really into it. One thing I can't decide. Is it chicken strips, fries, and a drink with a free sundae? Or do you get a sundae with free chicken strips, fries, and a drink? Trick question. Both answers are correct.
Exactly, Sam. It's Fananomics. Entree, fries, drink, plus a sundae. The $5 lunch, only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Hey, how do you TDM?
Fish taco.
Chicken burrito. No. Chicken taco.
I want fire on my burrito. I want jalapenos. I want habanero sauce. I want it hot, hot, hot.
Rice, beans, lettuce, tomato. And that is it.
I like nachos. I like nachos.
2 pork tacos with creamy chipotle sauce and make it a combo.
Love fish tacos.
Gotta be fresh, gotta be fast, gotta be to go. Gotta get out of here.
Stop by today and TDM with our new creamy chipotle sauce.
To be with you, everybody, I'm Ceci Gutierrez with your local weather report from the One News Weather Center. And it is brought to you by your Bud Clary Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Let's begin with a quick look at your headlines across the area. Unfortunately, we continue under the influence of that high pressure system. It remains in control, dry and seasonable overnight, but this weather pattern expected to continue across the area. Late night and morning spotty fog across the region, reducing somewhat the visibility. So take the proper precautions, especially to our drivers out there. Temperatures maxed out this afternoon around 54 in Ephrata, and the low registered at 38. A very slight precipitation accumulation, and also the sunset at around 6:58 this evening. Taking a quick look at the conditions during the past 24 hours across Moses Lake. The high registered this afternoon in the mid-50s and the low mid-30s. The sun setting at around 6:57. Across the area, high pressure in control, beautiful weather, some cloud cover along inland northwest, but overall much of the region enjoying partly to mostly clear skies. As we head into this Wednesday, a similar scenario, and we notice precipitation just across the border into Canada and also along the immediate coastline. By the end of this work week, we are expecting a frontal boundary, and that is a front that promises to bring precipitation, but overall it will be along the area mountains, making its way by Friday morning along the immediate coastline, pushing into the region. But for us, we are expecting to remain pretty dry. For this Wednesday afternoon, what we can expect is beautiful weather with mostly sunny skies, and these temperatures flirting with the 60-degree mark across Yakima, Tri-Cities area. A similar scenario to the northwest. These temperatures just a bit warmer and some cloud cover across Spokane. Let's take a closer look across the basin with a similar scenario, mostly sunny skies, and these readings in the mid to upper 50s. These temperatures do remain a few degrees above normal, but we are expecting for this air mass to get even a bit warmer as we head into the weekend. So dry and mild for this Thursday and into Friday. For the weekend, some cloud cover, and remember that potential for rain will be confined to the area mountains and along the immediate coastline. Beautiful weather and temperatures in the mid-50s expected well into Monday with mostly sunny skies. Good to be with you, everybody. This segment brought to you by your Bud Clary Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Thanks for being with us. We'll be right back with sports.
It's a fact. Toyota offers 10 different vehicles with available 4 or all-wheel drive. So when you need to drive in challenging conditions, we have your answer with great limited time savings, including the new 2014 Tundra. Choose from excellent cash back savings, a low payment lease, or special financing as low as 2.9%. Tundra, ready to take you down winter's toughest roads. Discover Toyota's 4 and all-wheel drives for yourself. Visit any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
If it's metal, we buy it at J&K Recycling, from junk cars to farm equipment and everything in between. We are looking to buy industrial and construction equipment, iron and steel, copper, brass, or aluminum. We buy scrap metal of any kind. We can come to you to clean up your junk so you don't have to. Give J&K Recycling a call today. Remember, if it's metal, we buy it.
Welcome Welcome back. I'm Bob Kirkpatrick with today's sports. This weekend kicks off the high school spring sports season, and with that in mind, I stopped by Moses Lake High School Monday to catch up with head softball coach Dave Gregory to see how things are coming together.
Yeah, it's shaping up real well. We got plenty of numbers out this year, and I think after last year's season, we're going to be fine. It's looking real good. We're trying to get the team set right now. I'm down to about 18 kids for varsity, and the ones that ain't playing at varsity will be on the JV team. So we're looking good.
The Chiefs return a core of players who led Moses Lake to the Columbia Basin Big Nine title, the district championship, and to a 9th place finish at state last year. But Moses Lake will be missing a few key position players who made a huge impact on last year's squad.
We lost 5 kids last year. 2 of them were pitchers. That's our biggest concern right now, is I lost 2 senior pitchers. We got 2 excellent sophomore pitchers coming up, Peyton Reese and Marty Skinner, that I think are going to fit right in and be able, but you know, it's something that they got to face the big time now. I mean, the big kids. So we're going to see. That's our only concern. We got the offensive player of the year coming back. We got the defensive player of the year coming back, and our 3 best hitters are still coming back. So I think we're going to be right in the mix.
Gregory expects the team to be able to defend its league and district championships, but said the competition in the Big Nine will present its challenges.
Well, I think for graduation, in my opinion, I think Wenatchee got hurt the most. They lost a pitcher too, but he's a real good coach. Brett Goff out of Wenatchee is a real good coach. He always gets a team together. He's going to be tough. Eisenhower's going to be tough. They got pitcher-catcher combination coming back, and you got a really good coach there too that are bringing them kids along where they'll play for him, and then Eastmont. So it's going to be the same as last year.
Moses Lake opens the 2014 season with a non-league game against University High School out of Spokane at Larson Field Saturday at 1 p.m. Free agent defensive end Michael Bennett is returning to the Seahawks after signing a multi-year deal. Bennett led the team in sacks and proved a versatile option as a defensive end and defensive tackle. Well, that's it for sports. We'll be right back after this.
Looking for that authentic Philly flavor? Come down to Nia Carson's Cheesesteaks, Wings and Things and try our mouth-watering cheesesteak sandwiches, prepared fresh and served hot. Make sure to pair it up with our classic wings, ranging from sweet and tangy to hot and spicy. East meets west at Nia Carson's. We provide Moses Lake with that authentic Philadelphia taste. Bring the whole family. We promise to make them something they'll all enjoy. Nia Carson's Cheesesteaks, Wings and Things. Good service, great price, and something different.
Ombudsman? Ombudsman?
No matter how you say it, Washington State's Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program means real people helping real people. By advocating on behalf of our state's most vulnerable citizens, Ombudsmen help ensure the health, safety, and welfare of our long-term care residents. By volunteering their time, they give a powerful voice to those who might never be heard. Washington State's Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. Real people helping real people.
Our spotlight story tonight is about how officials decided to contract water delivery near Moses Lake. Here's Jeff Chu with the story.
A crucial link in moving surface water to farmers was recently marked in the Odessa area south of Interstate 90. Officials with the Washington Department of Ecology, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, and the East Columbia Basin Irrigation District signed a water delivery contract last week. The event took place next to the East Canal, which is now being widened about 15 miles east of Moses Lake. Grant Pfeiffer, Department of Ecology Eastern Regional Director based in Spokane, put the $31 million East Canal project into concise perspective.
A big ditch, a really big ditch, is getting bigger so that it can serve people, farmers, who are having to extract water out of the ground, and their wells are going dry.
Wendy Christensen, an engineer and technical projects program manager for the Bureau of Reclamation, explained why the state-funded project was necessary.
The aquifer level has decreased as much as 200 feet in the last 10 to 20 years.
Christensen said the project will take a large amount of farmland off its groundwater reliance.
You'll see about 90,000 acres that will be able to benefit from basically a three-pronged approach of coordinated conservation between the three irrigation districts on the Columbia Basin. So that's some of the water that you'll see delivered to folks who use groundwater. The second one was from the Lake Roosevelt project, where the state is actually taking water out of Lake Roosevelt to deliver to lands, and that's 10,000 acres. And then there's another 70,000 acres that can benefit from the Odessa Siberian Special Project.
iFIBER said Ecology's role is to ensure the project uses enough water for farmers, but not at the expense of other water users.
There's a very intricate matrix, maybe that's a good word for it, of water management law that makes sure that the water that's used is used for beneficial purposes, that it's allocated in a way that doesn't, dry somebody else up. Or dry up streams so that fish and habitat are ruined.
The canal widening project has several different facets.
They'll have a stable supply of water that comes out of the Columbia River, so it's surface water now. And then the water that leaks out of this ditch, which is part of the intentional design, so a huge area is benefited by water that's provided, used, and then reused further downstream.
Water in the widened canal will be drawn from the Columbia River north of Grand Coulee Dam. The canal widening runs about 44 miles from Interstate 90 to the Pasco area. It's an ongoing phase of the Columbia Basin project, the growing Central Washington Farm Region's irrigation system that the Grand Coulee Dam makes possible. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We will be right back after this.
6 years ago, my dad began having issues with headaches, sore throats, and constant fatigue. He tried treating the problem with over-the-counter medications and lots of caffeine. Finally, he talked to his doctor, who confirmed our suspicions. Dad had sleep apnea. He didn't like the idea of using a CPAP, but after trying it one night, he was convinced. We found everything he needs for a much better quality of life at In-Home Medical.
When Othello resident Alex dreamed of earning his bachelor's degree, he followed those dreams to Whitworth in Spokane. But now there's a shortcut through Moses Lake. If you have your AA degree or 2 years of college completed, you can now earn your Whitworth degree in Moses Lake at Big Bend Community College. Classes meet just 2 evenings and 1 Saturday every 6 weeks. If you share Alex's dream to complete your degree, visit whitworth.edu/Moses Lake for details.
In Northwest News, Washington state officials are comparing the boom in pot business to the end of prohibition. So many people are applying for a grower's license that they are struggling to keep up, causing a backlog. Reporter Miguel Marquez tells us what these soon-to-be business owners are doing while they wait.
Recreational pot is coming to Washington state, slowly.
I was going to start selling marijuana sometime in January, and I'm now looking more like July or August.
Daniel Carrillo is a wannabe grower in the yet-to-be-established legal recreational marijuana markets, but the state inundated thousands more applications than expected from growers, processors, and retailers has forced costly delays.
You're just stockpiling marijuana right now, or what are you doing?
Well, actually, we're giving it away.
You're giving it away?
Yeah.
How much are you losing?
So my burn rate is about $5,000 a week just in labor.
None of this pot can be sold in the on-hold recreational market. Once he gets a grower's license, he'll have to start with brand new plants, taking months to flower and produce income. Unlike Colorado, where the medical marijuana industry was highly regulated long before recreational sales began, easing the transition to the recreational market that exploded into existence on January 1. Washington State says regulating the new marijuana market here is a little like regulating booze at the end of Prohibition, only tougher.
We had to build a system to grow only for Washington, which is why we've had to create a restricted marketplace. That's never been done in any commodity that I'm aware of.
It is a marketplace taking baby steps. In Seattle, for now, only 21 recreational pot stores will be allowed. Statewide, just 334 licenses up for grabs. And taxes whopping as much as 55% by the time recreational users step up to buy.
This is our flagship store, and we've had it for about 5 months now.
5 months.
5 months.
No business.
No business.
Can't start.
Yeah, but we still clean the place up. So.
Many would-be retailers are spending tens of thousands of dollars sitting on leases, planning for the day they can open their doors. For now, the marijuana market here is shaping up as more mom and pop. Think Washington craft beers applied to pot. Miguel Marquez, CNN, Seattle.
A 22-pound house cat held its owners hostage in Portland, and the family even had to call 911 to be rescued. Reporter Reggie Aki has the hair-raising story.
What this dog saw Sunday night can't be unseen.
She started hissing and just wow.
It wasn't the dog hissing, that would be odd, but probably not worth hiding in the bedroom. No, this family, which has a cat poster at the front door and has an unlikely last name,
Barker, B-A-R-K-E-R.
They were hiding from Lux. That's him?
Yep.
They say he scratched their 7-month-old, and when he got a swift kick for that, the cat lost its mind.
I grabbed my son and I grabbed the dog and I ran to the back bedroom.
The baby wasn't seriously hurt. His father soon ran for safety too and called 911.
He's charging us. He's at our door, bedroom door.
One moment, okay?
You hear him?
Can you
Scream
keep your
about
door?
the cat.
Yeah, I hear him. Hold on. Keep your door shut, okay?
Police used a snare and eventually got the cat behind bars, so to speak. Although no one is safe from the cat puns.
Certainly could have been catastrophic had it been attacking the officers.
What happens to the 22-pound troublemaker?
But now that I have a baby, maybe it's not so good to have a cat.
Maybe something that can be worked out through some mediation between the family and the cat.
You cat to be kidding me.
And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.